So welcome. I'm going to teach you guys how to pick your perfect lip color. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but this process like confused the crap out of me. Like legit, I would walk into Sephora or Ulta or even like the drugstore, like, and go down the aisle and my head would start spinning. Like, even if I was looking for like a specific color, like a red, because like I was, going out for the evening, or a neutral because I just needed the neutral color to wear every day. And I'd be like, oh my God, there's like so much to choose from. And I was like, oh my God, this is a lot, right? And believe me, I love options. Like, options is like my thing. Like, the more options, the better. But when you're looking for a specific color of red and there's like 50 of them, you're like, oh my God, where do I even start? And what I would do is just like start picking out the colors that just like I was attracted to, right? And most of the time I was wrong. Like, and in the drugstore, like you can't really try them on because they're sealed, right? So you're like, oh man, like how do I pick? At least when you go to like Sephora or Ulta now, like they have some, they have like little testers that you can use, but sometimes you want to do that, sometimes you don't. And I get it. Like, I'm kind of like wary about doing that these days too. So I'm like, how am I going to figure this out? So I ended up doing like a ton of research on it, and I was like, I need to figure out how to pick like the perfect lip color. And I want to share it with you guys. So I do have a PDF. I'm going to post that afterwards because it is a lot of information. And instead of coming back and like watching the video, you can just take the PDF, and then that way you can take a look at it and you'll just have it. Okay. So I'll do that after this is done. But there are two things that you need to know before you pick that perfect shade. And it's number one, determining your skin tone. And number two is knowing your skin's undertone, which is kind of like the most important thing I found. So your skin tone, right? That is basically the color that you see in the mirror, right? And that can change because depending on what time of year it is, right? Like if you're getting a lot of sun exposure, like especially for me, like I live in the Northeast, right? So we have 4 seasons that are changing. So in the summertime, my skin gets a little bit darker because I'm out and getting a lot more vitamin D, right? So that's why you hear that like a ton of people, have like a summer foundation and like a winter foundation, right? Because it's like your skin is always changing. And like, it's really kind of funny because I think it was in September, my daughter and I went to Ulta and we were talking to the woman, and she was like, well, we're at the end of the summer, so your skin is kind of tanned, but it's going to get lighter. So, here's like, you could either do this one or this one, right? So it's not necessarily like if you're saying to yourself, well, I wore this all winter, like, why isn't it working now? It's because things are forever changing, right? And it's like, you kind of have to pivot and realize, all right, I need to do something else, right? So there's 4 different color skin tones. There's light, fair, medium, and dark. And you're going to notice that in the guide. And just so that you know. um, so, determining your skin tone, right? You want to use the natural light always, right? And you want to concentrate on your jawline. And here's the thing, you don't want to like have tanner on and stuff like that, unless I guess you do tanner or self tanner like all year round. But to determine it, you really want to look at your jawline, and you kind of want to be like in a mirror, not in a mirror, sorry, like in the natural light. I sometimes will actually take a selfie. Like I'll go, I'm looking this way because that's where my window is, sorry. Um, I'll go to the window and I'll just take a selfie and then I'll kind of look. I'm doing it as on my phone. Do you see that? You really want to look at like, you know, your jawline here. Okay. So that instead of taking like a mirror, if you don't have one, you could always just take a selfie. So fair skin is going to be like very pale. It's almost like a translucent color. It burns very easily, like very easily. Okay. So you might have some freckles and even some like redness. That was like fair skin. Then you have light skin, which is pale. But when you're out in the sun, you burn easily, but you could possibly tan, like you're kind of in that in between. I think that's where I am. I'm more of like a light skin. My daughter is actually very fair skin. She does not like the skin whatsoever. She doesn't like the sun. I think I put a lot of fear into her, which is awful. So she wears suntan lotion like all the time. So her skin is very fair. And the funny thing is though, like when she was younger, she would be outside all the time. And of course I would lather her up with sunscreen, but she would actually get very tanned. So that's what I mean. Like it depends on like what you're doing that time of year, right? Medium skin tone, you tan easily, you generally don't burn. So that's kind of like a medium tone. And the dark tone is like your skin has like an olive tone to it. You really burn it all. You look tanned like even in the winter, right? So there's 4 skin tones. In the PDF, I just actually noticed I have like a little typo in the PDF. So I have to go back and fix that. But you'll notice, you'll see like where it says skin tones, it's going to say undertone and then it's going to say color. And it'll have light, fair, medium, and dark, like the shades. So that way that you guys can actually see what it looks like. Oh, good morning, everyone. I didn't even see that people were on, sorry. All right, so that's kind of like your skin tone. There's 4 of them. Your undertone, okay? This is like the temperature of your skin. So there's 3 different types of undertone. There's warm, cold, and neutral. And everyone, kind of like your skin tone, everyone kind of falls like on this spectrum. Like no one's like super, super warm or super, super cold. They're kind of like in between, not in between, but like you could be a little bit of both, but maybe you are like dominant in one area more than the other. And I think that's why it's really hard for people to determine which one they are. And if you're kind of in that, I don't know where I am, you're probably more neutral, which is actually really a good thing. So a warm undertone has like an overall like yellow golden tone. And one of the ways that you can determine whether you are is if you look at your veins, like even on your wrists, it has like a greenish tint on your veins, like more green, right? Like if you look, you might have blue or purple, but what's the most dominant one? And if you have both, it's probably neutral. But if you're warm, like I said, you have like a more of like an overall yellowish golden tone to your look. And the way you can determine is looking at your veins. And not only that, but they have like this jewelry test. So if you have gold and silver jewelry, you should put it on, take a picture and see what looks best on you. Is it gold or silver? And if it's gold, that really means that you're veering towards the warm part. Let me see. I wonder if I can share my screen because I would love to show you guys this picture of people. Okay, so if you can see this, this is kind of like what a warm skin tone would look like. And that's Beyonce, that's Jennifer Lopez. So if you can't really see it here, because I know it's probably kind of small, you can look online and kind of say like, oh yeah, like I have that kind of look as well. So this is kind of like what a warm skin tone would look like. So I just wanted to give you guys like just a little, you know, a visual, because I'm a very visual person. So I'm kind of like, well, what does that mean? So that would be like a warm skin tone. So people who actually too, this was like another kind of like, oh wow, really? People with freckles usually have a warmer undertone as well. So it's just an FYI. Now a cool skin has like a pink or like bluish tone to it. Your veins have like a blue purple tint. And silver jewelry like pops on them. So like take a look, like, cause it's really interesting, cause you know, I usually pair my jewelry with whatever outfit I'm going like with, but now I'm kind of like, wow, I actually think, um, gold actually looks better on me, but I've been wearing silver. I even have like a silver, like, wedding band, cause well, it's actually platinum, but it looks silver, right? And I'm like, geez, gold probably would have looked better on my skin tone now that I'm like learning all this stuff, right? So how to know if you have cool, like a cool tone, is look at your veins, and if they're like blue or purple tint, and if silver jewelry pops, that's your skin tone. So let me see. I want to give you guys another example of what a cool undertone looks like. Let me get that picture up there for you. And I'll post these too so that you guys can see them. Here it is. So here's what a cool undertone looks like. I don't know who these people are. I forget her name, Lucy something, but the whole purpose is to like maybe take one of these and you can like kind of see like, all right, maybe I look more like that. But these are kind of like what cool undertones look like. All right, now is neutral. Your veins appear bluish green. You look good in both silver and gold. So an equal balance of like warm and cool. And if you're neutral, like anything and everything goes for you. So you're like super, super lucky. Okay. So here's a couple of things that I want you to do to kind of find your undertone. Like, you know, look at your veins, look at the jewelry, right? Examine your skin, like I said, like with natural lighting, with like no makeup, no tanner, no nothing. Hold this, like the silver or the gold jewelry up to your skin. Remember, warm is gold, cool is silver. And if you can do both, you're neutral, all right? Your veins, remember, green equals warm, blue, purple is cool, and neutral would be you have both, okay? Another little trick too, someone said to try on, like, if you go, you can ask like for like a warm pink or a cool pink lipstick. And you want to see which one looks more natural, which one looks like blended. You want like your face to look a little bit balanced. And two, if you're having like problems with this, because I know I was kind of like, I don't know if I can do this. And once I started with the process, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this like all kind of makes sense. But you could also ask somebody, what do you think? Like take a picture, right? And then that way you can kind of determine. So you want to know, do I have, what kind of skin tone do I have, right? Remember there's 4 of them: light, fair, medium, and dark. And then you want to determine what your undertone is. Once you have those 2 things set, then you can pick that perfect lip shade. So let me give you some examples of what like a warm, cool, and a neutral would look like, okay? So a warm undertone really should opt for like a peachy pink shade, and an orange toned red like lipstick, okay? Soft pink shades too, all right? So your red lipstick should really have a hint of orange. That's gonna look best. And I'm gonna show you one that has like an orange look. So this one right here is called Spicy. And it has an orange, like a hint of orange in it. And I know it seems crazy, but I want to show you guys like the difference. See, like they're both kind of a red, but look how red, but this one has an orange look to it. Okay. So it is super important. I never thought I would be like the orangey kind, but I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference when you know. Okay. So this one's called Spicy. That would be like a perfect red for the warm undertone. Okay. For a nude look for a warm undertone, that one would be this one here, which is Tattle. Okay, see how like it's like a nice warm undertone for the, this one's a nice one for a warm undertone. This is like a nude color. I love nude lipstick. Oh my God. So amazing. All right, cool undertones. You're gonna opt for more of like a plum, cherry, crimson, purples. And this one would be great for this. This one is called a Baddie. Look how dark and delicious that looks, right? So if you have a cool undertone, something very plum is gonna look absolutely amazing on you. My God, doesn't that color, like, I just want to eat it up. I know, right? So that would be kind of like your reddish plummy one that you would want to go to if you have a cool undertone. For nude, you're going to go more like a rosy pink taupe. And that one would be called Flawless. Look at the difference between even these two. Oops, I'm clearly using this one more because I really think I have a warm undertone. Slight difference, but when you're putting it on your lips, it can make a huge difference. All right. So the cool undertone for a nude lip, rosy pink taupe. This one would be Flawless. This one would be a great choice. And then for the neutral undertones, you guys have a wide spectrum that works. You can do anything from light nudes to deep wines are all gonna look good. I have on right now is on VIP, and this is what this looks like. It looks totally different, right? And what it looks like on me is not gonna look like on you. It's gonna look different, okay? But this one I feel like is a great neutral that looks amazing on everyone. I don't know how or why, but it does. It's got like a pink mauve to it, and it's got like this amazing velvet finish. I don't have anything else on my lips except for this lipstick. And it's awesome, right? Now, if you're someone who's like, okay, Margaret, this is great. I found my cool tone. I found my skin tone. I found my undertone, but lipstick really isn't like, I'm not just very sure on lipstick. Like I'm not very much into the lipstick thing or just makeup in general, but yet sometimes I really just kind of want that pop of color. I do have to say a tinted lip balm can adjust your lip color in like this, right? Depending on what kind you are doing. I have a great one that I can recommend. It's it enhances like your natural lips because it has a pH sensitive tinted lip balm. So it's very sheer, right? But it's going to really like whatever your lips, like the pH sensitivity in your lips is gonna pop. So it's very like a neutral-ish, you know what I mean? Very, very natural. And it's also gonna hydrate hydrate your lips like big time. So the one that I have to recommend is this one right here. This is our tinted lip balm. Totally gonna enhance your natural lips, like I said, with the pH sensitivity. It's gonna hydrate your lips. So I know like this season right now is like really, really hard for me because my lips are always chapped. We have our heat blasting, right? And it's like, oh my God, everything's dry. I try to drink so much water and still, so I use this tinted lip balm like all the time because it really hydrates and it's got 12 vitamins in it. So it's really great. Talk about a great gift for the holiday season, right? Because then that way you don't have to pick out that color if you don't know that person's color, and it's gonna be a natural one. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So I hope you guys got a lot of value from this this little masterclass, I'll call it. I'm gonna drop the PDF and I'll put it in the pinned post, and then I will also make like a collage maybe, or I might have to do it as a couple of posts. How about like the warm, cool? Maybe what I'll do is I'll do cool tones, and then I'll give a couple of suggestions for the lip colors. How about I do that? I think that will actually work better. So there'll be like 3 different posts because there's 3 different undertones and the PDF that you guys can get so that you can determine what is your skin tone and undertone and what will be your perfect lip color, right? It would be great to know, especially for the holiday season. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday.